So there's a lot of new information regarding next generation Xbox I want to talk about from multiple sources, guys, so let's get into it. But before we do it, let's check NBAcom. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo and PC, and as always they've got a ton of new games on sale. There's this Persona 3 Reload sale going on, so let's check it out. By the way, fantastic game if you haven't played it just yet. It's on Game Pass too, so we can actually check some Game Pass keys on NBAcom. Well, there's this Steam key, why not? There you go. And all you have to do now is just select, buy now, of course. And you can add some more games to the cart. Why not? Spider-Man, let's grab it. Proceed to checkout. And all you have to do now is just select a payment of your choice, and that's it. So guys, in NBAcom, you will find a link in the description of this video below. Alright, so what's going on with next generation Xbox? So it's interesting that yesterday I made a video about Xbox Series XL. So that was my idea for a sort of a more powerful Xbox Series X refresh. It would be a refresh, just a little bit more powerful, not a new console. If you want to know more about that idea for a console, check my previous video from yesterday. But today I want to talk about a completely new console, completely next generation new Xbox console. And it looks like there's multiple sources confirming that Xbox has greenlit the design for that console, right? So they are officially now working with AMD on that new console. Now there's two sources in particular I want to talk about, and there's been a couple of in the past. So I want to talk about Jez Corden report, or actually conversation on YouTube he had during the Xbox 2 podcast recently, and also Tom of Moore's Law is Dead. So he made a video yesterday, I think, where he's leaking some information from AMD. Apparently he's got some sources at AMD and they are telling him that Microsoft has signed documents, official documents, basically meaning that now they are finally working with AMD on next gen Xbox. And I know some people will say, yeah, but it has always been said that they start working on new hardware literally a day or two after they release the new hardware, and they do. But at first couple of years, I guess it's more about research into what's coming next. It's not like signing papers with AMD or any other manufacturer, right? So it's more about let's find out what kind of technology is going to be available 5, 6, 7 years from now. And based on that information, let's decide what we want to go with, right? And the fact that they signed the documents right now, that's what Tom of Moore's Law is saying right now. But not only him, and I'll get back to that in a minute. The fact that they signed these papers means that I think they know what they want. They know what they want to go with, right? That's a good information, because that means that the sooner they will sign the papers, the sooner we'll get we will see the console, right? It takes a while to actually make a proper design, then test it, prototype it, and put it in production, right? So that's one thing. So Tom says that he has heard that in last couple of weeks Microsoft has signed papers with AMD to finally start working properly on that next gen or a new hardware, right? So that's one report from yesterday. Another report from yesterday comes from Jez Corden, Xbox 2 podcast. And during that podcast, Jez said that he has heard that Microsoft has greenlit it in last month. They greenlit multiple new Xbox hardware projects, right? He didn't say specifically Xbox Next or Next Xbox project, but he did say multiple projects. So that's interesting because, like, obviously the most, I guess, probable hardware that will come out of this will be next-gen Xbox. But if that's multiple projects, yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's going to be some other stuff as well, like Xbox refresh. I mean, I think Tom still believes that Xbox refresh is still on the cards, not like Xbox Series X Pro, if you know what I mean. It's just like a sort of like diskless or optical digital, not diskless. I mean, because it, some may say, oh, SSD, but it's more about like no optical drive, digital only console kind of refresh, if you know what I mean. And that's probably still on the cards. I just hope, like I said in my yesterday's video, I just hope that if they do a refresh, they will speed it up a little bit. Just like I said in my yesterday's video, Microsoft just, run the clocks at higher frequency, and you'll get 20-30% more power basically, right? So I just hope they do it, and that's not really going to be any strain on developers. So that's one thing. But so refreshes in the cards. Next gen Xbox, I can bet money on it. There's been also some rumors suggesting that maybe Microsoft is thinking about Xbox handheld, or maybe some sort of partnership with somebody, right? And funny enough, Jez Corden of Windows Central actually wrote an article yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, talking about how Xbox handheld would make sense in current climate, because we've got Steam Deck, we've got all these AMD based kind of handhelds, right? And obviously you've got Nintendo Switch 2 is coming this year probably too. Now there's rumors about PlayStation working on a handheld, so who knows, maybe that is actually a way moving forward, especially that for Microsoft they don't necessarily have to produce an Xbox handheld. It just may be some sort of partnership with one or many handheld manufacturers like Asus, or whoever is making these APU based handhelds these days. So we'll see how that goes. One thing to note though is that I don't think Jez mentioned any timelines when he spoke about Microsoft that Microsoft greenlighted these projects. I don't think he spoke about timelines. Tom believes that Xbox may be releasing console later than PlayStation, but that's just his belief. Not that he has heard anything like about it really, which is kind of weird, because what we heard before, prior to all these leaks, from yesterday, we have heard there's been a number of leaks from good sources too, that Microsoft wants to release a next-gen Xbox a bit earlier than PlayStation, right? So it's being believed that PlayStation 6 is coming around 2028, while Xbox apparently 2026. So obviously this is just speculation on Tom's part, but he believes that Microsoft may be either late to the party, so may release console later, or they may just come in hot, right? But to be honest with you, it's 2024 now, right? If Sony really is planning to release PlayStation 6 in 2028, which is probably late 2028, so they will have to start producing these chips early 2028. So if Xbox were to match them and release around the same time, it's like 4 years. I mean, that's more than enough to actually really design and change design maybe not multiple times, but that's more than enough. So I don't believe, me personally, that they would be later, unless PlayStation is planning to release a little bit earlier too, right? Because the fact that FTC documents leaked PlayStation 6 release date around 2026, these documents spoke about plans change, right? So who knows, maybe PlayStation is going to be a bit earlier too. However, the fact that PlayStation 5 Pro is coming this year, it's hard to believe that PlayStation 6 would release a bit earlier, because it would just shorten the life of PlayStation 5 Pro. Makes little sense to me, right? But who knows? We'll see. Now, when it comes to next Xbox, and that Xbox releasing 2026, yeah, I mean 2026, that means that Microsoft really needs to start actually putting all these things together quite fast. Because, well, like I said, if they were to release a new console in 2026, late 2026, they would have to have ready chips, ready for production, well, probably early 2026. So that's 2 years, right? And can they design, prototype, test, and start production of such chips in 2 years? Sure, they can. But it's just like they won't really have much time for any changes and that kind of stuff. So I just hope, this is my hope, that they're not really going to come across any issues, like hardware issues or anything like that. And also, we don't really know, what they've been doing in the past when it comes to this chip design. The fact that they've signed these documents doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have any plans for it, right? And yes, PlayStation might have signed the documents, papers, like way earlier, but that doesn't necessarily mean that 2 years is not enough. Now, like I said, I'm not a chip engineer or a production engineer, so I don't know, but I know for a fact that in the past, these consoles were made even in shorter time. Remember original Xbox? From the announcement of the console to production, to actually release, it took them like 18 months, I think. So they've made a console in 18 months. Now, I'm not saying that it's a good idea to actually, do it that as fast, because, I mean, Xbox was actually a good console, don't get me wrong, but I guess these days, it would be wiser to actually have more time for testing and whatever, right? But I think that 2 years is more than enough to actually, design a console like that. But we'll see, especially that, I guess it would be a sort of a continuation with AMD of the same architecture, obviously with changes and whatever, right? I mean, same architecture as in still AMD tech, right? I mean, it's probably going to be like Zen 3 or 4 or an RDNA 4 or 5, whatever, right? But we'll see. So anyway, guys, interesting information. Now, obviously, these are all leaks and rumors. I mean, I guess leaks, right now. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, looks like the next gen, well, not battle, but I guess the race for next gen has already started. We're probably going to be hearing more and more info about these next gen consoles soon. I'm actually really interested in learning more about Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 Pro. There's a lot of leaks right now going on. I was planning a video about PlayStation 5 Pro today, but yeah, I've changed my mind, so I'll probably make one tomorrow. I really wanted to talk about that next-gen Xbox, but yeah. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.